Good evening, YouTube. Today's video has to do with me explaining my background as a freegan and dumpster diver, and also discussing the misconceptions that other people have about dumpster divers and freegans. So, about my background. I have been a freegan and dumpster diver for about 12 years. I began my diving when I was living in an apartment complex alone, and there were two big roll-off bins, one on either side of the complex. Anytime that I would walk by these bins, I would see things that people were throwing away that really should not have been thrown away. They should have been donated to a shelter, a food bank, a thrift store, Salvation Army, Goodwill, anything, anything besides going to a landfill. After seeing so much stuff being thrown away and being wasted, I just snapped one day and decided, you know what, since this stuff is going to be wasted, I might as well just take it out of the trash and make use of it. So I started diving. I started pulling things out of the trash and making use of them, or I would take some of the things that I found and donate them. So I was diving for about 2 or 3 years, and then came the day that I moved to California. I got married, and the person I got married to, he is a non-diver, didn't believe in the freegan lifestyle. So because of him, I stopped doing it altogether for about 5 years. And then once we split up, I started up again. I moved into a mini apartment complex. It's basically one building sectioned off into 10 units. And where I live at, there are a section of like 4 or 5 streets, and each side is lined with mini apartment complexes like that. Behind my apartment complex is an alleyway street that is filled with bins connected to the apartment complexes. So as a freegan and dumpster diver, the chances of finding all kinds of good stuff are very, very high. The first year that I lived here, I was pulling out so much stuff that, believe it or not, I was actually getting pissed off. I was getting so mad. I was getting mad because I thought, this stuff should be donated. Why is it being sent to a landfill? Why can't people take the extra step to donate it instead? There are people in need. Why are we throwing this stuff away? I took matters into my own hands, and I would go out. I would find whatever clothes or shoes or things that people could still use. I would bring them home. If it were clothing, I would wash and launder everything thoroughly, bag everything up into trash bags, and then take them to the food bank, which is the next street over for me. And I was finding so much stuff. I kid you not. I was donating between 1 to 4, maybe sometimes 5 trash bags of clothes and shoes a week. A week. So when I do the math, I was donating between 1 to maybe 400 pounds of clothes and shoes to the food bank every single month for about 2 years until they changed their system. But that's how much stuff I was finding. That's how much was being wasted. I created my Facebook page, which is linked in the description, not so much to brag about the free stuff that I found, but it was more to do with spreading an awareness of, look how wasteful as a country we are. Needless waste that should be donated to people in need. There are lots of people in this world that need that pair of shoes you may not want anymore, or that jacket that you're bored with. You shouldn't throw it away. You should give it to someone, or find a way to repurpose it, reuse it, recycle it back into your wardrobe. I believe in getting everything you can out of everything you've got. It only makes sense. If you paid $50 for a shirt and you don't like it anymore, try to find something else to do with it, and that way you won't have to put it in the trash. Or give it to somebody, or you and your friends can get together and you can all swap out clothing and purses and whatnot that you're just bored with, and that way nothing is getting thrown away and somebody's getting something new in their wardrobe. So that's my background. I'm a freegan and dumpster diver, and I'm about not just getting things out of the trash, but about spreading awareness so that other people know not to be wasteful. So now that we've gone over that, I'm going to go over some of the misconceptions about divers. The first misconception that everybody always assumes is that divers are dirty people. We are dirty, filthy people, and we're wallowing in some nasty, dirty, diseased trash, and that's just disgusting. Divers are not dirty people. And we don't have to jump into the bins to get stuff out. There are all kinds of tools out there to help us with getting stuff out of the bin to where we don't have to get inside of it. If you watched my previous video about dumpster diving tips, you saw the tool that I have. I have an Unger. Basically, it's a reacher grabber tool. I reach in, grab stuff out, pull it out, and I don't have to get in. I classify garbage into two categories: wet garbage and dry garbage. Wet garbage is like the stuff you find in your kitchen. It's wet, it's messy, it's just disgusting, it smears on everything. Dry garbage is the stuff that I'm looking for: the shoes, the clothes, the appliances, stuff of that nature. And usually when people throw stuff like that away, they bag everything in one category altogether. And so you're not digging through messy, nasty wetness to get to the stuff that you want. When people move out or they move in, they usually bag everything in one category together and throw it away. So we are not dirty, nasty people. Divers who dive are homeless, or they're starving, they're desperate, and that's why they do it. Nope, again, not true. Yes, you're going to see people that are homeless diving into the trash to get food or whatnot. But a lot of people dive just because it's practical. It's absolutely practical. Again, if you're someone that you need something, someone else is throwing something away and they don't want it and they don't need it, why not take it out? It's free. Doesn't cost anything except for your time and your effort to get it out. And it saves something from going to a landfill. People who are freegans and dumpster divers, what we do, it's a form of recycling. In fact, it's the ultimate recycling. You're taking things that are destined for the landfill and putting them in your home or doing something with them, and that way they're not going to be in the landfill. Now you have to dive in to get stuff. Again, I already covered that. Not true. You can get an Unger, pull stuff out, and it's a lot easier, it's a lot quicker, and it's not as hazardous to your health. Diving is practical, and for some people, it's actually profitable. There are some people that dive, and the stuff they pull out of the trash, they turn around and they sell it, and they make a good profit. There are people that dive different things, and they know where to sell them, make some quick cash. So it's not just about putting stuff in your house. You can also use it to make a profit, make some money. As far as the food diving is concerned, a lot of people say, well, diving for food it's dangerous, it's nasty, it'll make you sick. If you are a diver with common sense, you'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine. If you find something that's in a can or a box and there's obviously no contamination, there's no holes, there's no rust, unless there's a recall, you'll be fine. If you're a person that you dive for food at a grocery store, one of the things that you keep in mind is if you're diving for something like, say, proteins like meats or milk or yogurt, if you can tell that it's been in the heat and sitting too long, you obviously don't want to take it home because it's been spoiled and you'll probably get very, very sick. But if something is frozen or near frozen, that means it's probably still good. And of course, if you get any meat, you're going to want to cook it thoroughly. You're not going to do that medium rare shit. You're going to cook it all the way just to be on the safe side. So it has to do with common sense. A lot of diving is common sense. I've been diving for 2 years, and I pulled out plenty of food from the dumpsters, and I've never gotten sick, but I've eaten at restaurants and gotten sick from that, so just let that sink in. I also want to show you guys something that I put together. For those of you that are wondering how much waste is going on and how much I pull out as far as my dumpster diving, like what kind of stuff I'm pulling out, like I said, I've gotten tons of shoes and clothes and all kinds of things, but just to give you an idea of the amount of waste, allow me to show you. I want you guys to take a look at that. All of that, all of those shoes, I did not pay for. I pulled out of the dumpster, out of the different dumpsters around here. We've got stiletto heels, we've got thigh-high boots, we've got ankle boots. I didn't pay for any of that. All of that stuff came from the dumpster. Those were things that people throw away. And that wasn't over the course of 10 years. That was over the course of 2 years. How much money do you think I would have had to spend to buy all of those? Quite a bit, because ankle boots and thigh-high boots, anybody will tell you those are not cheap. It's like 60, 80 bucks a pair. But that's just a small sample of the stuff that I've pulled out of the dumpster. As a freegan and dumpster diver, I don't lack for clothes or shoes or anything just because I make use of what people want to throw away. And you're probably saying to yourself, well, what do you need all those shoes for, girl? I mean, that's just a lot. Well, better to me to have them than for them to go to waste. So that's from apartment complex dumpsters. That is not from any store. That's just personal. That is just stuff from dumpster bins around here. And not on like several blocks. That's from 3 different streets worth of dumpsters. That's it. A 30-minute walk from one end to one side to one end to the other side, and that's what I found. And that's just that's not everything that I found. So now that you've seen a small share of what I pulled out of the dumpster, and believe me, there's tons and tons more, you got to ask yourself, does it make sense to be a freak and a dumpster diver? Absolutely. Absolutely. Obviously, there are some things that you can't dive, you have to buy brand new, but there's a lot of things you don't. If you just, all it costs you is a few minutes of your time and a little bit of energy, and you never know what you'll find. You might find something you might want to keep for yourself. You might find something that you might want to sell and make some money off of. But for those of you that are not freegans, that are not dumpster divers, please try to keep an open mind. Don't immediately wrinkle up your nose and dismiss what we do. There's a lot of people that they dumpster dive and they're freegans, and it's not so much about being dirty or getting free stuff as it is about taking care of the environment and trying to keep as many things out of the landfill that don't need to be there as possible. All right, so I'm going to go, and you guys have a good one. Take care.